Hello everyone, this is Godzilla of 1 and I'm back with another toy review, and as you can see this is not a Guardians of Harmony figure. Unless they got the Spike figure really wrong. Yeah, I was actually considering making that an April Fool's joke, but I kind of decided, well, one, it's not going to post an April Fool's anyway, and two, that'd kind of be a disservice, and I'm not an April Fool's Day guy a lot of the time. But anyway, no, this is the Bandai Creations GMK King Ghidorah figure. I'm reviewing this for a very important reason, and that's that for a while these figures were out of, not being issued anymore. They weren't being put out there anymore. But then they showed up at Walmart's very recently. Like, I go to about once a week or so to Walmart, and this guy was not here the week before last, but was there last Friday. So, yeah, they were suddenly suddenly Bandai Creation Godzilla vinyls. So if you were after Godzilla vinyls for a while, and the aftermarket prices were not doing it for you, Bandai Creation vinyls are now back at Walmart. So that's why I wanted to do this right now. One, because it's current, and videos that are current tend to do a little better. But mainly because a lot of people are probably looking for this figure, or looking for Bandai Creation figures online, having trouble finding them. And, well, being alerted to the fact that they're available at Walmart would probably help you guys. So that's why I'm going to do it. And of course, a review also lets you know what you're going to be getting if you happen to stumble across this guy at a Walmart, though given the nature of their packaging, it's not hard to figure that out. But this is the GMK King Ghidorah. I almost said Godzilla, but the GMK King Ghidorah, who, of course, was the good guy one that people are kind of iffy on because originally it was supposed to be Varan and things happened, but anyway, this is that version of Ghidorah, and let's get a good look at him. 3 heads, as any Ghidorah has. Pretty nicely sculpted. Like, you can see the Varan influence, though. Basically, because Varan was not allowed to be in the movie, the creature designer incorporated some of Varan's traits into Ghidorah. The right and left heads are roughly identical. So I'm not going to, well, I can turn him around so you can see the other head. It is pretty much the same head. But nicely sculpted head. And I like the red eyes. I'm not sure if he actually, I can't remember if he actually had red eyes in GMK or not. Yeah, the big gripe though is the mouth, which has this, it's not showing up as well on camera, but it is a bit too bright of a pink, to be honest. But it doesn't look that bad. And nice that he has 3 heads that have at least 2 different appearances to them. I mean, expressions to them. Heading down the body, you see the overlapping scales. And his wings are kind of in the way a little bit. Nice overlapping scale pattern, which looks very nice. I was about to say something, but that's for articulation later. You get the spikes down the back, which, flowing down the back, eventually turn into 3 sets of spikes, then go back into 1, because that's the middle layers, or the middle head spikes, then trail off down the tails to the 2 tails, which look very nice. It's weird because they are one piece up until this point. I'm not sure if that was suit accurate or not, or just because of the nature of the figure. But it still looks nice. The big spikes on the end of the tail, which are always cool. I really like the way they did them in Godzilla King of the Monsters from the looks of the trailers. But then we have his infamous chicken feet. Yeah, I guess a lot of people don't like the way his feet look, and they do look a little odd. But the scale pattern heading down to them and this pattern on the fronts of them is pretty nice. And yeah, he is detail loaded though, give him that. They did not skimp on any of the scale texture. And of course the wings, which have been shadowing everything the entire review. That's definitely Ghidorah's wing. He has a very iconic wing shape. The one gripe I do have, and this is just nature of the beast, is they are really thick. Like, these are really thick wings. On one hand, that means they are very durable wings, But on the other hand, it also means they look kind of weird. But they do have the spine sticking out of them, which is accurate. And that's about it for detail. He looks very nice. I mean, he's a little, like, the heads are maybe a little off, but he is not bad. He looks like Ghidorah. Now, of course, if you want GMK Ghidorah, this is a good option. If you want just a Ghidorah for your collection, I think that's also a good option. He can fit the part of he can't really fit the part of any other Ghidorah perfectly, though, because GMK had a unique look different from the other Ghidorahs. Like, you know, he has the chicken legs, for one, the Varan facial features, so appearance-wise, he might not fit in if you're just looking for a generic Ghidorah, which is kind of hard to say, considering he's Godzilla's biggest nemesis, but you get what I'm saying, just a Ghidorah for your collection. GMK has a specific look, and he's the only benevolent one. So that might be a bit of a turn-off if you're just looking for a Ghidorah, but personally, I don't care that much. Like, I like Ghidorah, but most of his figures are prohibitively expensive. This is probably the cheapest one you can get. But anyway, let's move on to articulation. He does have glue seams on each of the necks. Now, for those that don't know about vinyl figures, sometimes these glue seams are actually rotatable joints, and they were sealed for I don't know what reason. His are glue sealed. I don't know if you can rotate them or not. I would look up online before you try to break those, and if you do decide to break them very carefully. His wings rotate full 360, which can be used to sort of give him a bit more of a posture, so you can have his wings forward like that, you know, all the way up to, you know, maybe be more threatening. Rotate them around, which looks weird, but you can kind of pretend maybe he's roosting or something. Not that Ghidorah does that, but, well, okay, he probably will in the new movie, most likely, but given the, you know, the more nature of the, how the kaiju and the monsterverse are done, so he might. His waist is also a seal, but I'm really not sure about that one. I'm not sure about the necks, but I want to say they might be glue seal joints you can move. I'm not sure. But the waist, I'm definitely not sure, because I'm not even sure if you did break that seal and it was movable, if you could actually rotate him there or not. Look it up before you try to break any of the glue seals. He also has glue seals on each of his tails. Again, not certain if those are movable joints or not. Look it up before you try to break them. But the entire tail is on this kind of weird joint. It's not just a normal circular joint, it's at a diagonal angle, which has pros and cons. You know, pros, you can kind of get him into maybe something like that, which can be useful if you're going to have Godzilla do the classic throw Ghidorah thing he does. Or, you know, maybe something more like that, and, you know, straight out like he's flying, maybe. That is a possibility, which you couldn't necessarily do if it was just a straight rotation. However, that also means you can't really rotate the tails and have them in any other position. And more to the point of that, he's actually really back-heavy due to his wings. And I just cracked my thumbnail again. Great. My nails get beaten to heck at my job for some reason. But yeah, he's kind of back-heavy due to his wings, and he likes to fall backwards if you don't have the tail down. I mean, I'm sure you can move his wings in some way to remedy that, but that is about all the articulation you get out of this guy, because, again, he's a vinyl. The point of him is to look nice. And I will say the gold paint on him looks really nice. I think it's maybe a little darker than I would like, but it's still a nice gold. And I'm not actually sure if it is gold paint or if he's just molded in gold. I mean, in this golden color. The bottom of his feet do look like the same color, so I'm assuming he is molded in it. But I'm not sure. I can't say. That would seem like a lot of paint for him, because it would mean he'd be entirely painted, so I'm assuming he's just molded in a nice gold. But he looks nice. He does definitely look nice. As for size comparisons, here we have my recent Godzilla Monster Arts figure, which looks actually like they're about evenly heighted, which normally Ghidorah would probably be like something like that big compared to Godzilla, but this is GMK Ghidorah, So he is supposed to be about roughly the same height, maybe a little smaller. So that is accurate for GMK Ghidorah, but another reason why this doesn't really work well as a catch-all Ghidorah, like I just want a Ghidorah in my collection, because this is definitely GMK. And I will say, I'm a big Godzilla fan, but I don't need to have like a super expensive King Ghidorah figure just to have a certain incarnation of him, because Ghidorah figures tend to be really freaking expensive. Like the Monster Arts Legendary Ghidorah is set to probably be over $200. So, for the price point, I'm fine with this as my Ghidorah, but that size might be an issue. And here we have with the Bandai Creations Godzilla 1954. I don't have GMK Godzilla, so this is the closest thing I got. And again, looks fairly nice. They definitely look nice together. And you could probably get some poses out of him. You really, like, he is actually a decent idea to have if you have the Heisei, if you have that Godzilla, because again, you could probably get him to look like he's grabbing his tails and doing the... Oop. I just popped off Godzilla's hand. Great. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. But, you know, you could have him, like, pretending he's grabbing his tails to do the slam. If you have a proper stage, though, you could probably get the whole effect of it. But you can do that. Which is one reason I do like him, because the tails like, give that that as an option. Which I do appreciate. But, yeah, all in all, I think that's about all I can really say about this guy. If you want a GMK Ghidorah, he is a pretty nice pickup. If you just want a random Ghidorah, he's probably your cheapest option. Like, he's not the best option aesthetically, because GMK has a very unique design and was the only good guy Ghidorah. Okay, there was another good guy Ghidorah, the Godzilla Land Ghidorah, but I don't think we'll ever get a figure of him. Yeah, that Godzilla Land is weird. Look it up. It is really weird. But it's fun, but it's weird. But yeah, this and that Ghidorah are about the only good Ghidorahs except Mecha King Ghidorah. So that might not make him the best catch-all Ghidorah, but if you want a GMK Ghidorah specifically, probably your cheapest bet. If you just want any Ghidorah for your collection, again, probably your cheapest option. Most Ghidorahs run really high price. And if nothing else, this lets you, I'm at least letting you know that the Bandai Creation figures are back at Walmart. So there are other figures at my Walmart that at the time they had the, I believe the Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 1 Godzilla and Showa Mechagodzilla in stock at the time. The back of the box says, and I've seen other people have found King Caesar. I'm not sure what other ones they have, but I do kind of want to get my hands on King Caesar because I love that monster. But anyway, I recommend this guy if you're looking for a cheap Ghidorah for your collection, because he runs about $12 at Walmart. Which again, $12 versus over $100. You probably won't have that many options to find a cheap but good quality Ghidorah figure. So I recommend him based on that. I recommend him on being a good picture of the GMK Ghidorah. And just in general, decent figure. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye! I still don't have a catchphrase.